Kirby at the Apex IFSA exhibition in Long Beach, and I'm speaking with Esdra Lamy of Warner Brothers. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
I gotta say, I'm pinching myself. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to interview Warner Brothers, so thank you so much.
Well, absolutely.
Tell us about your presence here at the show, why you're here at Apex.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you guys. And our studio, we tend to be where our clients are. So wherever our clients show up, we like to show up there as well. And so we've always been a supporter of Apex and continue to be a supporter of Apex. We have our full team here. Callie, who runs the day-to-day operations of the business, Brandy, who works with her, our ops person, Jane, our marketing team is here. So we come in a big group and we have a pretty big, large presence with our booth. And we hope the show will continue to improve the way we're seeing it happening versus last year, as we're still in the mix of a pandemic, and seeing it this year where things seems to be somewhat a little more normal.
Yes.
So we're hoping that energy will continue to carry on as we look for future years. So far, to answer your question, it's been a very interesting convention because people are still getting comfortable with being in a setting like this. And frankly, airlines are in a very interesting position as they're trying to get people back to the normalcy of how they fly and making sure for us and our specific business, make sure they have the right content on board to so that way their customers will come off certainly distracted while they're on board and maybe discover something that they've not seen before in the sea of all the offerings that's out there in the world.
In your experience, what do customers want to see when they're in flight?
Well, that's an interesting question because that's a conversation we've been having throughout the convention, and it's about paradox of choice, meaning that there's a million options for us to choose every day. We make a million different decisions every day. It's a combination of some of the best new release theatrical films, which we've always provided to the marketplace, and then on top of that, what else? If Mary Kirby's on a flight and she wants to watch something, but she's flipping through that seat back or her wireless device, that, she comes across something that is familiar and comfortable. In other words, comfort food. So people tend to watch a lot of the same stuff that they watch over and over on a flight because, again, it's comfort, something that they're familiar with, and it gives them a sense of comfort as they fly. Shows like Friends on the series side as a sitcom tends to be very, very popular. A lot of our rewatchable movies that are popular on traditional platforms, whether that's a streaming platform or even a cable network, tends to also resonate from what we can see also in the same way on an airplane. So that's why paradox of choice is that opportunity to watch something that you're very comfortable with and bring you back to a place of familiarity.
Very good. We all got used to receiving new content much faster during the pandemic,
We did.
which kind of sets the expectation a little bit now coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
How do you kind of meet that expectation in flight when people have so much content perhaps on their own phone?
That's a great question, and I'm sure that's a question that a lot of our partners are certainly navigating through, because the journey of getting a piece of content on board of a plane it takes a village. Everything from obviously the studios and the suppliers first having the great content, and then to which airline takes that content, and then to how it gets on the plane from everything in between, the lab partners. That's where groups like West, who we work with on the movie side and above on the TV side, they play a huge role in that. And obviously the integrators on the various planes, whether it's Panasonic or Viasat and everything in between, it takes a village to get it there. And that's a piece of it that we don't necessarily control. So for us, we're open to doing business wherever the customer wants to meet us or our partners wants to meet us. And we're open to being innovative. As we sit here and have this conversation, Warner Brothers, along with the Touch Above team and LATAM Airlines, were up for an Innovative Award. And the Innovative Award is for the fact that we're able to get a show off of HBO Max on board of an airplane, a LATAM plane, going from South America, Sao Paulo, up to New York, 24 hours after the show premiered on HBO Max. The LATAM Airlines passengers got to experience that show because they had not seen it because they were probably busy. They didn't get a chance to access the service, but they got to be exposed to it. We did a takeover of every screen, every seat back on the plane. In the first class, they got to have Dior cosmetics and perfume handed to them. The back of the plane and throughout the whole plane, they got to experience Magnolia Bakery, which is a piece of history when it comes to, and just like that from the Sex and the City days. So those are some of the unique things that we look forward to doing on getting the product on board sooner with our partners that are ready to meet us there.
That implementation that you just discussed for LATAM actually really excited a lot of people, and
Yes.
including on social media. I understand
Yes.
millions of kind of conversations, etc., which was fascinating.
It was. The marketing teams on both sides. Our marketing team is one of the best in the business, and our partners with HBO Max Latin America, who were very enthusiastic about doing these type of activations, were gung-ho behind it, and working with the LATAM Airlines team, their marketing team together really helped drive, or should I say help fly the plane on that one. and together with the influencers that were on board and people reacting to it because they were not expecting that when they got on board. And since then, we've actually followed it up and have done something on a bigger scale with House of the Dragon, where this time we did it with 3 aircrafts coming out of South America, going into Madrid in 3 different cities.
Wow.
So in that one had everyone receive a dragon egg around the theme of course, House of the Dragon. So these type of activations are very exciting to us. We're very excited because our audience is the airline's audience. And we feel the audience travels regardless of what platform. If they can get the best content, they're more than ready to engage with it. So we'll look forward to doing more of these type of activations. We'll look forward to bringing more unique experiences into this space. Things around sweepstakes that we've looked at times. So we're super excited. There's so many different avenues to travel down within the wealth of content that we have. And certainly, as long as an airline is willing to meet us there and our partner is involved in that, then we're more than open to exploring just about everything.
It really showcases the art of the possible in the non-theatrical market.
Yes, it is. You can never have any shortage of great movies, but it's taking the experience above and beyond that, right? What makes it a unique experience when I come off a plane? Yes, the guy next to me may have been snoring, but boy, was this experience phenomenal because I watched a movie that really got me so engaged that I didn't know anything that was happening around me, and that's the role we play in the content space with our airline partners, is really being that great distraction that allows the passengers to be fully immersed into their own little bubble while within the most frankly captive audience, which is inside of an airplane.
And as you mentioned, your partners were key in helping you with this, of course, touch and also above, and they've innovated with the cloud.
Yes.
And what does that mean for Warner Brothers to be able to operate in that fashion and the flexibility that that provides?
We're still learning it, right? We had to take a hard look at our business, our lab business. As you know, the business has multiple tiers where we have people that handles a lot of the lab work for us, and Wes being one of them on the theatrical side, and above a newer but very ambitious crew with the way they look at the marketplace and the way they look at delivering content. So for us, it was an opportunity again to be innovative and see how that helps both our business and how really it's all about how do you make it more efficient for everyone within the supply chain. And that's something that so far we're really liking the results of what we had hoped that it would be, and it's being that and then some.
It's exciting times then for passengers and airlines as well, to do unique promotions that have never really been done before in flight.
Yes. Think about it this way. We went through a pandemic, 2 years where for some passengers or for some people who are now traveling in 2022 who probably have not been to an airport since 2019 or certainly since the beginning of 2020 before the pandemic started. For us who've traveled throughout the pandemic, we've had a different experience. We've gone through the different changes and adjustments and growth and pains, trials and tribulation of getting it right. But for those folks who have not been at an airport, who've not been on an airplane, in their mind, it's almost like time stopped. And then when they now are traveling in 2022, they're expecting the same experience that they used to have and then some. So for us, it's trying to help be that balance with our partners, because when it's all said and done, the customer doesn't really, it's like your kid. They don't really know how, they don't care how you get it done,
Yes.
how you do it. They want food on the table when they're hungry, and they want to play with you. It doesn't matter how tired you are, what trip you've been on. When you get home, they want your undivided attention. So from that perspective, it's helping play a small role in allowing the airline to be able to provide their customers what they need to keep them engaged and entertained while they're on the plane.
Fascinating stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.